Hello and welcome to another writing skill video. Today we'll be looking at wordiness and how to eliminate that to make your sentences clearer and more concise. So first of all, you may ask, why does conciseness matter? Oftentimes students will consider longer better. So why would you want to eliminate words from your sentences? And in fact, you may be in the habit of extending the length of your sentences to try to get to those minimum 3 pages or 5 pages, whatever it is. But the problem with that is it actually detracts from the quality of your writing. If you learn to be more concise, it will improve the readability of your paper. It will help people flow easily from beginning to end without getting caught up in your sentences, and it also improves their understanding at the same time. Your sentences are more direct and they get what you're saying much more easily. And this is because it does communicate your points more directly. It's more to the point. You're not beating around the bush of what it is you really want to say. Okay, and it will also appear more intelligent and authoritative. When people are able to speak or write very concisely, people give them more authority for what it is they're saying. It just is more convincing when you're not going around your point and avoiding saying something directly. Okay, so it just comes off as more intelligent and the tone is more authoritative when you are more direct and more concise. And it also can appear more honest and that your ideas are developed more completely. This especially is true for instructors reading papers. If you've developed the minimum number of pages, but that happened through a lot of fluff being added, that's not really honest development, right? It's not complete development. So it's really what you want to do if you want to get those high grades on your papers, okay? Here are some examples of wordiness. So lots of extra words thrown in here that don't really need to be there. So in my opinion, I feel that most of the time people should not be allowed to change school districts unless there is very good reason to do so. Okay? In a moment we'll talk about how to eliminate wordiness in that sentence. Also, it is expected that the new president will be chosen for the college by the board before the end of the term. So a lot of wordiness again here, and in this particular case it's happening largely because of passive voice. So we'll talk about eliminating that as well. And this final one, the reason why people turned out for the election was because of the candidate's controversial comments. So in that case, it's redundancy within the sentence that's causing the wordiness. Okay, so let's take a look at eliminating some of this wordiness. So first of all, getting rid of just the fluff. The fluff would be just extra words that aren't really doing anything for your sentence. So I've highlighted the fluff in this sentence here. In my opinion, I feel that most of the time people should not be allowed to change school districts unless there is very good reason to do so. So we can make that much more concise by eliminating some of those unnecessary words. So this is a much more concise version. Students should only be allowed to change school districts when there is a good reason to do so. In my opinion, I feel that those sorts of things don't serve any purpose really. And by the way, very can be overused. It doesn't really do much. You can use it occasionally for emphasis, but most of the time it can be eliminated. So see if you can reduce the number of words you're sticking into your sentences for no reason at all and be as direct as you can. And then also the use of passive voice. Passive voice has a legitimate use in writing, but it's very rare actually. Most of the time it's used poorly and really active voice should be used. And it's a good way to eliminate a lot of extra words as well. So here's the wordy version. It is expected that the new president will be chosen for the college by the members of the board before the end of the term. And here's a much more concise version. Notice how many words have been eliminated here. The board will choose the college's president by the end of the term. Notice The board has been brought up to the subject part of this sentence because in the previous sentence it was in the passive voice. So a lot of words were eliminated just by that, okay? And notice members of the board is not needed either, because if you're talking about the whole board, we know it has members. You don't have to repeat something like that. Okay, so a much more concise version. And also redundancy of any sort within a sentence. So here is the wordy version. The reason why people turned out for the election was because of the candidate's controversial comments. So if you're saying reason why, you don't also need to say because, since that already carries the idea of reason why. Okay? And the more concise version is people turned out for the election because of the candidate's controversial comments. Okay? You can just eliminate the reason why part. It's really unnecessary. Okay, so if you need more help with wordiness, first of all, you can turn to the Yavapai College Rough Riders Guide, section 8, chapter 32. Has more information about conciseness and eliminating wordiness in your writing. And you can also have a one-on-one session with a Learning Center tutor, which can be very helpful for helping you figure out where wordiness might exist in your sentences. Just direct them to that problem and let them know that you want to work on that particular problem. And also, of course, you can contact your instructor either by email, or you can visit them during their office hours and work directly on a problem like conciseness in your paper. Okay? Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next writing skill video.